Uke review day, and I suspect this one could cause a bit of a buzz. Keep watching. Hello, welcome back to GotAUkulele. As ever, it's summary video review. You'll find the full written review in the link below, as you will on all these review videos. Take you back to the website where you'll see scores, a lot more detail. All the other reviews are listed there too as well. Thank yous running across the bottom of the screen. Every week I say thank you because I am not brand sponsored, i.e. paid by stores or brands to do this. I'm completely impartial, and it only works thanks to the kind donations of people who throw a few quid my way each week to help keep this site going. My eternal thanks to those people. And you can also help me out by subscribing to the YouTube channel as well. That would be much appreciated. Okay, this brand, I spied this online and grabbed it and bought it because it intrigued me, and then I found it confused me, and also it has annoyed me. I'll explain why in a moment. It's a brand I've looked at before. The brand is called Bumblebee. They are kind of a partner brand or sub-brand developed by Flight Ukuleles in Slovenia with Hal Leonard music distribution. I've looked at Bumblebee before, their wooden soprano that was really, really good. A great entry-level kids instrument. No frills, but just worked really, really well and cheap. And that's who they are. They're aimed at educators, children, beginners, that kind of thing. And I saw that they'd released this. This is the Bumblebee Hive Ukulele. Now, I talk about my confusion, first of all. Same group of companies as Flight. Plastic bowl back instrument, laminate wooden top, plastic neck, plastic fingerboard. That's exactly what the Flight Travel is. Now, the Flight Travel is incredibly good. I gave this a very high score. This is the long neck version. There is a soprano as well. I gave this a very high score. This has won awards from NAM. Shops love them, people love them, they sell like hotcakes. That really works. It's the same concept. Okay, the design is very different, but it's exactly the same concept thing. So why would you have one that potentially is in competition with the other? So I don't get that. And that shape thing is where my annoyance comes in, because this is my favourite ukulele. That's the Magic Fluke Flea. I am just going to get this out of the way and say that I think Bumblebee have sailed far, far too close to the look of the Flea, and to an extent the Fluke. Flat bass, wooden top. I know that's just not a thing, you know. So is the Flight Travel, and I gave the Flight Travel a bit of a buy on that. But this, it's just far too similar. More importantly, bear in mind, I put some sneak peek pictures of this up on the socials, and I have had several people now comment saying, "Ooh, is that a Magic Fluke? Ooh, is that a Flea?" That's really, really wrong. If you've developed something that is making people confused as to whether it's the other thing, that's a no-no. I think that's terrible. So that's really annoyed me. You let me know what you think on that topic, but we'll get into the review now at last. As I say, ABS plastic, boat paddle shape back inside of this flat base like the Flea. Topping that, just like the Flight Travel, is laminate wood on the top, just like the Flea in fact as well. And it's finished very much like the Flight. It's kind of a matte paint finish. This is kind of slippy, but then so is the Flea. I chose this shocking pink one just because I thought it would look good with the pictures, but if you don't want anything quite so bold, you can get black, plain colours as well. There's a range of them, about half a dozen. And there we are. Finished all very nicely actually down here. There's no real complaints. The bridge is ABS, plastic, slot style. That saddle is removable, so if you did have eye action, which this does not, you can then take that out and lower it. No other decoration. I will just say that sound hole looks ridiculous. It's far too big. It's all out of proportion with the body. It's a misconception that sound holes make more sound the bigger they are. That's nonsense. A sound hole is there just to allow air in and out and to allow the top to resonate freely. That's where most of the sound comes from, not there. I think that looks weird. Inside, not much to say, but there is a wooden brace there, and there's a wooden strengthening plate underneath the bridge as well, but otherwise it's a plastic box in there. The neck is integral, made of ABS. I much prefer the neck to the neck on the Flight Travel with this sort of odd wood grain thing it had going on. But it is a lot chunkier, but I'll let it go because it tapers down to a 37mm nut, 30 G2A. Feels very much like a flea neck. I found the neck pretty comfortable actually. And topping the board is more plastic with integral frets, 12 of those to the body. Sorry about the focus. And you also get a 0 fret as well, which helps the intonation, sets the intonation, leaves the nut to just do the string spacing. 12 of those, as I say, painted silver, just like the Flight Travel. Position dots face out, screen prints at 5, 7 and 10, white dots on the side too. And then beyond that nut is this open frame headstock. Flight love open frame headstocks, but this is a real funky asymmetric one. But guess who else has an open frame headstock? Yeah, you guessed it. The tuners are unbranded chrome open gears on two to a pair on these plates on the side. They work all right, but they look pretty cheap. And the buttons are really ugly and large. It comes with nothing else bar a set of Ukulele strings like the Flight Travel does. Now I found that a bit odd. The Flight Travel doesn't come with a great gig bag, but at least it comes with a dust. At least it comes with a bag to keep that dust off and sorry, to carry it in. No bag for these. Okay, they're both tough instruments, but the price in the UK, £35 thereabouts. These. You can get the entry-level Flight Travel for about 45. So a saving is a saving, but it's not a huge saving. It really isn't a huge saving. Maybe, well, I suppose it is in percentage terms. It's a big saving, but 35 to 45. Now that would make this a no-brainer if it stands up to the Flight Travel, which is what we're about to find out. But if it doesn't stand up to the Flight Travel, it just leaves me thinking, well, why would you? Why would you get that when you can get that one, which has got loads of, you know, awards, accolades, great reviews? Okay. So the build overall and finish as good as the Flight Travel, but I'm a bit annoyed about that. I'm really annoyed about that. They should be annoyed about that. Sorry to labour that point. You let me know what you think, but come on. But otherwise, the fit and finish are all right. Feels a little bit sharp around these edges, but you know, not a lot in it. Dead light. 465 grams. Balances really nicely. And my first problem, these strings. I don't know what they've put on here. Well, I know they're Ukulele, but I think the gauges must be wrong, because look, they are just incredibly, they're too loose. They're too loose. They're flabby. Now that worries me, because I did find, to be fair, that the Magic Flute's quite picky on strings. Because it's a boat paddle with no waist, that extenuates the mid-tones. So I think you kind of need a brighter string set for them. I tend to use Worth Clear or Browns on the Flea. Ukulele's can be quite boomy, I find, on the Flea. So these are Ukulele. This is an instrument with no waist and really flabby, because the gauges are wrong. Something is fundamentally wrong there. You would not play that instrument with these strings, which then means that the £35 instrument is not a £35 instrument. I'm going to obviously give you some sound comparisons, but you're already listening to this now. The volume, all right, reasonable, average. Sustain, there isn't any. There isn't any sustain. Minimal amount of sustain. And it's echoey, it's tubby, it's flabby. That was me. It's muddy, it's muddy, it's muddy. Let's just quickly go to the Travel. I hope this is in tune. smells better. These strings are so flabby, it's so easy to bend it out of tune. Staccato. It's not the worst ukulele I've ever heard, but it's not. These strings are just terrible. A string change would change it up. I'm absolutely sure about that. But then, as I say, your £35 instrument is not a £35 instrument anymore, and I always review instruments based on the stock strings. I don't affect the scores unless the strings are way wrong. They are way wrong here. It's just really plinky plonky, the flea. That's a bit out of tune, I'm sorry, but you know, look, you know, the bags of volume and sustain. It's this one that's the comparison. That's still sustaining. Sustained on. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Okay, the looks, striking. If you don't like the look of that, you might really like the look of that. They are striking looks, I give you that. They are, however, really derivative looks, and that really annoys me. The build, fit and finish, as good as the flight, but as part of fit and finish is this ridiculously stretchy string set. The strings are all wrong. They're completely wrong. Yes, you can change them, but then aimed at beginners, kids, what's the first thing they're going to do day one? Oh, I've got my Bumblebee Hive. First thing I'm going to do now is change the strings. That's not going to happen. This is what they're going to play on. So that's all wrong. So the score gets a knock for that. I don't think it is as good value for money as it makes it out to be just because it's 10 quid cheaper, because you're going to have to do that to make this playable. I think it's lazy in the design work and questionable, in fact. And I don't see why they needed another one. Why put these into competition with each other? Unless these two companies are now separate, I don't know. You tell me, but I certainly remember Flight telling me that they developed Bumblebee. But either way, that's the one. This one isn't. That's a great instrument. This one isn't. So I'm confused. I don't get it. The Bumblebee Hive. Sorry, that was a bit of a ramble, wasn't it? And a rant. I'm in a mood for a rant at the moment. Maybe it's the hot weather. The Bumblebee Hive Soprano ukulele with this ABS plastic back and sides. Wooden laminate top dropped in. There we are. £35. No, I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good at all. Right. Thank you for watching. I'm not here next weekend. I'm away over the weekend, so there won't be a review next week. I am going to try and sneak something special in midweek, but don't hold me on that. But otherwise, I will be back the week after. Thanks for your ongoing support. Much appreciated. The kind words and support and donations, really appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, everyone. Have a good week ahead. Bye-bye.